The following is a paid program and does not necessarily reflect the opinions of the staff or management of Visionary-related entertainment.
I'm listening to more and more of the music because I'm going to put out a contest to see if we need to change our theme song, because as we approach our 10th year, there may be a few people out there getting tired of it.
I am.
I said out there, not in the studio.
Wait, let me go outside.
Yeah, right. But it's a great theme song, and if we change it, we got to start all over with people and recognition factor. So we'll see what happens. But I like it, and we do still have people who come in to do their part of the show and want to dance on the table, and
I like it. It
Yeah.
makes me happy.
it kind of perks us up, yeah.
Right.
Kind of noticed the wear and tear on this.
Yeah, the table's getting tough. Anyway, aloha and welcome to Maui Nonprofit Notes, the weekly radio show where you'll find us talking story with Maui's nonprofit executive directors and staff to find out how they're working to support the needs within our community. Maui Nonprofit Notes is generously sponsored by Pacific Source. If you're building or remodeling a home, please stop by Pacific Source's Cabinet and Appliance Showroom located in the Waikapu Bayshard. I'm Susie Tiemann, Executive Director of Lokahi Pacific, and your host for Maui Nonprofit Notes. During this hour, we share some of the experiences of our nonprofit agencies and just how they're changing lives, changing communities, and creating miracles of hope for those with needs. And today we're starting off the show talking to someone who's with an agency that's been doing this for, it will be 38 years you're
Yes.
celebrating.
Yes, Susie.
Whoa, that's incredible. And you haven't been there for 38 years.
No, I've been there for 18 years.
18, really?
So
So almost
one-third
half
it.
of 'em.
Yes. By the way,
hello.
my name is Adele Baculorena with Maui Family Support Services.
We'll get that out there. Thank you, Adele, for doing that. I appreciate that.
Of course.
We're not going to talk about her math, though, are we? She's been there for a third of it, 18
so,
years.
yeah, so more than one-third of it.
Before the show, we were talking about, by the way, if there's any CFO-type people out there that are thinking about changing jobs, Adele has an opening.
We need one right away.
She's getting desperate. It's been a few months, huh?
It's been a few months. Our CFO left end of July, and we're still searching. And but we're not rushing because we want it to be a good fit and someone who understands how to manage nonprofit agencies.
And
Someone who fits with our mission of strengthening families and community and the community in our
Right.
county.
being a finance person for a nonprofit is a very special, takes a very special person
It
who
does.
has that care and concern.
Yeah,
as
and
well
not
as,
so much about the pay.
Well, about the pay, but also has to understand that sometimes there just is almost only so much money,
Yes.
and they have to work it out
Correct.
and help the CEO.
And the
put it
entire
together.
staff and
Yeah.
the board of directors, of course.
Is there a financial department staff?
There is. We have 2 accounting specialists right now, and we have 75 employees and 10 programs to manage. So it's a lot of like small grants, and so the CFO would be busy in looking at the different budgets of these different programs that Maui Family Support Services implements.
Right. Wow, nice job for somebody.
Yes. So if you know someone, please call our office, 808-242-0900, or go to our website, www.mfss.org.
mfss.org.
Yes. And we are celebrating our 38 years of serving the families here in Maui County. And that event is taking place on November 28th this month.
No, it's coming up. That's
Yes.
the week after Thanksgiving.
That's right. We were going to do it the day before Thanksgiving, and we thought, oh, nobody will come because they'll be busy making
Prepping.
turkey.
Right, prepping for the next day.
Yes.
Cool. So is that open to the public?
It is. Well, we will be, we set up an Eventbrite, so it will go to our community partners, staff, family members, and our funding agencies. So please be on the lookout for it.
Great, great. And is that held at your place?
It will be held at our place at 1844 Wheelie Pa Loop in Wailuku. It's behind the credit union or close to the Wailuku post office.
Ah, okay. This is out in the parking lot? Or do you have a
Yes,
yard?
and we will have an open house to make
Okay.
sure that our community knows how we're running the Child Development Center, and most of our offices, our programs are housed in that building.
I
We have
gotcha.
satellite offices on Lanai, Molokai, and we have one by Market Street. Our Quality Care for Hawaiian Keiki program is housed there, so we have 5 offices and 3 child development centers.
Wow. You have grown a lot.
Yes, but we've been here for 38
38
years, so we're
years.
very
Right. What was
blessed.
the beginning? What started it
Oh,
all?
the beginning, they only had 1.5 staff, meaning 3 part-time employees. And they were housed, Maui Family Support Services was housed behind the nursing cottages at the hospital, at the Maui Memorial Medical Center.
Okay.
And they started with 3 part-time employees, and they only served, I think, 85 families during the first year of operation. Last year, we served almost 9,000 individuals. So
Whoa.
from the first year to 38 years, we've grown so much, and so we're very grateful for that.
Yeah. What was the primary service that they provided?
The first service that was provided was to screen new families who were giving birth at the hospital, and looking at their risk factors and seeing if there's any need to connect them to community resources. And so we started with our program that's called Early Identification Program. So it's EID, and to screen families that might need the additional resource for new parents or for expectant families.
Interesting. And you continue that today.
Yes, we still have it today. So we've been doing that for 38 years.
Wow. But it's not 1.5 staff anymore.
No, for that program alone, we have 3 full-time staff who's doing that and a clinical supervisor. And we're not just doing it on Maui. We just got a new grant from the U.S. DOE from the Native Hawaiian Education Program, and we will be able to expand that on Molokai as well.
Wow, that's great.
Yes.
So now this most of this takes place in the hospital.
Yes, and also we go to the WIC clinics because pregnant women also have to go to the WIC clinics for
What's a WIC clinic?
Women, infant, and children clinics, and these are under DOH, the Department of Health.
Okay.
Yes.
So the average person doesn't know anything about this.
So it's you have to be income eligible to get the benefit of WIC, and it includes early prenatal screenings. It could be blood screenings or nutrition assessments, and then they also provide benefits so then you can have financial assistance in getting a balanced meal or purchase nutritional foods
Okay.
from department store. I mean groceries.
Groceries.
Yeah.
So it's from prenatal through birth.
Up to 5 years old.
Oh, up to 5.
Yes,
Wow.
yes. And they promote, health eating and preventing obesity and making sure that you go to your prenatal visits on a regular basis. So then when you deliver your baby, the baby comes out healthy.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And that's always a good thing, because if they're not healthy when they're born, it's just going to get worse as they grow up.
Correct. So we want to prevent any early, health problems from the get-go.
Interesting. Wow. I didn't know we had those clinics.
We do.
What? How many of them are there?
Well, we have one in Wailuku, and I know that they have satellite clinics as well, Lahaina, Kihei, Upcountry, and they also have it on Lanai and Molokai.
Interesting.
Yeah, so it's a statewide program. Actually, it's a federal program.
Oh,
so it's
okay.
a pass-through from...
And it's under the Department of Health.
Correct.
Are these clinics related to the Department of Health offices or
Yeah,
other
so
clinics?
for
or-
example, for Maui County, their supervisor is Jenny Bizzle.
Oh, okay.
You know Jenny?
I know Jenny. Yeah.
She's always in all the meetings that we go to.
Right. Okay. Interesting. Okay. Let's see. I bet I could learn a lot more about some of the other departments you have.
So anyway, thank you for letting me talk about the 38 years. But I also want to talk about Friends of Hawaii Charities.
Okay.
So it's a 501c3 organization that was formed in 1998, and it's a result of a shared vision and collaboration of a group of Hawaii business and community leaders, and they saw the need to get funding for Hawaii nonprofits that would benefit women, children, youth, and the needy programs. And so their principal fundraising event is the Sunny Open in Hawaii PGA Tour.
The Sony
And
Open in January.
Yeah, and it's held every January. And then the event, their charity partner is the Harry and Janet Weinberg Foundation, and they raise funds. So I think last year they have been distributing over 18 million grants to over 350 Hawaii charities.
Wow.
So that's big. And so this year, Maui Family Support Services is participating. We are a grant recipient, and I'm here to promote that, to share to the public that the donation period is starting soon, November 15, and it will last up to January 15.
Gotcha.
So I don't know if our other guest, MEO, if you're participating with this also, but I think there's a number of us who are participating
There's quite a few,
to this
yeah.
fundraiser. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of money, and it's easy because it's basically a 4-day event.
It is. And then so a donor can select their own, the agency that they would like to support. So I'm here to, encourage the public to support Maui Family Support Services. And any donation that's 3,000 up, it can give a boost to the donations. And they can go to friendsofhawaii.org to make a donation. Click Aloha for Hawaii Charities, and then you can choose the agency that you want to support, hopefully Maui Family Support Services. And then all the donations are tax deductible, it will go to the nonprofits that you want to support.
That's great.
Yeah.
And what do they get for it besides the tax deduction?
What do they get?
Are they
for
listed
it?
on something as a contributor or as a sponsor of something?
Good question. I think so.
Okay. I stumped you on that one.
Yes. I didn't read on that one.
But I think that's true. I mean, I don't go to the golf outing, but I'm sure that they do a lot because they've been doing it for a long time, and it's terrific what they do. And I know, as you said, we have quite a few of our members who do participate in that, and it's they may be helping park cars, they may be helping with some of the food stands or something, and there's some other things that they do that I know they've talked about over the years. So very good. Is this your first time in it, or have you been in it a while?
I think we participated once, and
Okay.
I don't remember signing up for last year, but I signed up for this year. But we have been a grant recipient for many years.
Yeah.
Yes.
Terrific.
Yeah.
And you got one more thing.
Yes. One more thing is that the holidays are coming. Thanksgiving is when 2 weeks.
2 weeks from tomorrow.
And so. For many years now, we have been the recipient of the food drive of Haleakala Waldorf School. So I got a phone call yesterday, and they are set for their donation, and we need to pick it up on the 16th. So we are getting ready for that, and so we wanna. So then we will call our families, encourage them to come and take the food that they need. But we also thought about encouraging the public to also donate and participate. We will also have our free swap on that day. It's like going to the garage sale, but for free.
Oh,
And
really?
so people can come and give their clean, gently used clothing and household items. We will set it up in our parking lot or in our conference rooms, and then we will call our participants to participate. So we will be collecting donations from today until Wednesday, November 14.
Okay, next
So that's
Wednesday.
the week before,
Right.
a few days before Thanksgiving. So
Yep.
hopefully we will get a lot of donations, so then families who need the extra support will also be able to get some things that they need for the holidays.
Great. So this is the food distribution goes to your families.
To the participants of
Right.
My Family Support Services.
Okay. so that they can have a nice Thanksgiving too.
Yes, and then additional items that they might need for their kids, for their, spouse or other family members.
Right. Wow. That's great. That's super. Oh, I know. She's looking at her watch. She has to get back to the office.
No,
We're,
I have time.
Could be here all day.
let her go? Okay. This is great. We got to take a short break and we'll be right back.
Aloha from Pacific Source, and thank you for your support over the years. Pacific Source has offered more of what builders and homeowners value most in building materials and cabinet design. We've done this by offering superior customer service and products, as well as by designing kitchens and baths that are intelligent and elegant while staying true to your vision and budget. Visit our showroom in Waikapu in Central Maui, where we display a variety of cabinets as well as top-name appliances like Sub-Zero, Wolf, Viking, KitchenAid, and more. We display countertops, tile and wood flooring, and several brands of windows and doors, including Fleetwood multi-slides and La Cantina folding doors. Come in and talk to our designers about making your dreams become a reality. From concept to completion, we really believe our attention to detail and superior service are what sets us apart. Let us show you what we mean. We are a Pacific Source at 515 East Oahe Way in the Consolidated Base Yard in Waikapu, just off Waiko Road. Call us at 986-0380. That's 986-0380, or look us up online at packsource.com.
Oh, Gary, you are so tasking, or whatever. How do you say that as an adjective? He's a multitasker.
Yes.
Okay. Who multitasks? Tasks. Forget it.
Who performs?
He performs well. Good job, Gary.
He's a problem solver.
Yeah.
Yes.
Would you like for me to tell your boss how many hats you fill at once in here?
Oh, he knows.
Oh, he knows. Okay. Whoa. Right on. Very good, Gary. Okay, so Adele is going to tell us about a new grant that they got for a new program.
Thank you, Susie, again. And I just want to add some additional item about the free swap and the Thanksgiving food distribution.
Okay.
So we also want to accept unopened, non-perishable food items. And I forgot to mention that that's happening also at our main office, 1844 Willie Palup. We're open from 8:30 to 4:30, so donors can just drop by anytime during those times. Okay.
Okay.
All right.
And bring a non-opened, non-perishable food item.
Food item
Unopened.
or clean, gently used clothing
Or
and
clothing.
household items.
Very good.
Thank you. The new grant that I wanted to share to the community is that we got a new grant from the U.S. Department of Education, Native Hawaiian Education Program, and it's a 3-year grant that will help us to serve Native Hawaiian, part Hawaiian families. And we call the project Hu'uvaivai Kaio'olo, which means, Susie is like, what does it mean? It means to enrich and bring prosperity to our community.
Wow. Okay.
So this new grant from NHAP, from the Native Hawaiian Education Program, will allow us to expand our existing services to children ages 0 to 5, youth, men, fathers, and other caregivers on Maui and Molokai. So basically, we talk about our early identification program. We will be able, through this grant, we will be able to screen additional 1,500 families every year, because then we will be able to do these screenings on Molokai also. It will also help us to expand our Healthy Families America home visiting program. So we have this program already on Lanai. We will be able to implement Healthy Families America on Maui and Molokai.
It's quite an expansion.
Yes, and so then we will be able to serve additional 100 families each year through this grant. And do you remember we have the Halehi'ipoi, the Child Development Center in Hana?
Uh-huh.
The first and only licensed infant toddler care in Hana. So I was talking to you last time I was here how funding can be, tuition can be so expensive, especially for infant care. So this great support for families in Hana, we will be able to provide more support to our staff and the families, and we are licensed for 12 infants and toddlers in that center.
That's a lot.
Yes. It's not a lot compared to the need.
Well,
we
yeah.
could serve more, but that's the license that we have so
Right.
far. And then we also have our youth services that goes to the high schools and intermediate schools, and we use life skills training to talk about substance abuse prevention and teen pregnancy prevention. And so we will be able to serve additional 350 students on Maui and 150 students on Molokai through this grant. So yeah, it's really great. And then lastly, but not the least, our fatherhood program, our Connect Connections
yeah.
program. So we're active here on Maui. We have the weekly support groups, and we also provide one-on-one support to the men. But we will be able to expand through this project on Molokai. And so we're projecting that we will be serving 150 men for the 3-year duration of the project. So it's really exciting because it's not just focusing on one program, but there's 5 programs that I just mentioned, and it's not just focusing on Maui also, but also on Molokai
Right. And Hana.
and Hana. And so the reason why I want to talk about this is that we have, because of this expansion, we have been hiring. We had 5 staff who started last week, and then 2 more yesterday, and 2 more on Monday, and 1 person on yesterday. And we still have 4 openings for a home visitor.
Goodness.
So for the home visitor position, they're called family support worker. These are the individuals who go to the homes and visit the new parents and provide child development information, parenting education, and also if when the family needs, they help the family get connected to other community resources.
Wow.
So
That is one comprehensive grant.
it is. It's very comprehensive, and we feel so blessed that we were able to get this.
Yeah, and for 3 years.
And it started in September, so we're busy in the hiring process.
And there's a possibility of it being renewed in 3 years?
Well, we'll see.
We'll see.
Yeah.
It's not a given.
It's not a given.
Okay.
So we need to make sure that we're successful for the 3 year that we have this grant, and hopefully it will come out again, and then we will reapply.
Wow.
Yes.
So what kind of background or experience does someone need to be the home visitor?
Basically, if someone who wants to, who is a public servant, who wants to help families and the children, and who is passionate in really working with with a diverse population, and open to going into other people's homes and have that openness to learning, because we don't call the families clients, we call them as participants. So they are the partners. They are our partners in teaching the child development, because parents are the first teachers of their children.
Right.
So we're just partnering with them to make sure that the children are developing on track.
Interesting. So it's not really there's not an educational path that you're looking for as much as the characteristics that you just talked about.
Well, they have to be minimally a high school graduate
Okay.
or has a GED, and we support their professional development. We invest in a lot of trainings. And right now, one of the funders for a home visiting program that we have, the Early Head Start program, they actually require home visitors to have a Child Development Associate credential. So the agency can also support if the home visitors in furthering their education.
Wow.
Yeah.
So that's a great opportunity for them.
Yes, and there's trainings all the time, and then we have mentor coaches that can help them in learning the trade of home visiting and how to work with families, how to engage with families, how to do developmental screenings. Some of our staff end up going back to school because they feel that they can be a better home visitor by maybe obtaining their AA or getting their bachelor's degree in human services or early childhood education.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You guys are just doing a tremendous job and growing. I mean, this is, you think about the 38 years. Here we are.
From 1.5 staff to 75 staff.
And
Isn't
growing.
that amazing? Yes, and so I'm so blessed to be able to work with my family support services. It's just, I work with a lot of people who are passionate about working with the families and partnering with them, and also partnering with the other agencies,
Right.
nonprofit agencies here in Maui County, and of course our county partners and our state partners as well.
You share the wealth, so to speak.
Yes.
It's working together, accomplishing so much more than you could all
Yes.
by yourself.
And they say that nonprofits compete with funds, but actually we don't, because everybody has their own expertise.
Right.
You know, we in Maui County, we are respectful to each other, and some, you know, like there's a grant opportunity right now that I was emailed Debbie about with MEO, and I'm like, okay, are we applying for this one? So I've been, you know, we coordinate with each other, we collaborate,
Right.
you know, beautifully here.
And instead of competing,
Competing.
competing.
I think you're copying my accent, Susie.
Multitasking.
And yeah, I'm learning another language at the same time I'm doing this show. Instead of competing, we collaborate.
We collaborate.
And we all, as you say, we all have our own expertise,
Mm-hmm.
and we do what we're doing fits nicely with someone else who can't do exactly
Mm-hmm.
what we're doing, but does something similar, or for an older age group, or something like that.
Yes.
There's always a difference.
Yes. And then we cannot serve all the needs of the families. Where we sometimes we have a family who comes to our office and we're like, oh, you know, here's the number, you can call them. Or we even help the family call the other agency too. Yeah.
And
Yeah.
introduce them to them. Great.
Yes. Or have that hand holding, you know, or just the warm off, send off for the family to
Right.
go from one agency to another. Yeah.
Well, and it sounds to me like Maui Family Support Services is very lucky to have you.
Oh, thank you. Thank
It's,
you. I'm still learning so much.
Well, and that's what it's all about, right?
Mm-hmm.
If we ever stop learning, we're done.
No, yeah. Why go to work if you're not learning anymore?
Yeah, if nothing's going to change, you know, you could put it on remote or rote or whatever, and just let it go.
Right, right.
We,
Yeah.
All of us executive directors and CEOs could take a 6-month vacation and come back, and everything would be the same.
One of our staff said, you're not allowed to take off anymore. I took off last week for 1 day. And then I was told I'm not allowed to take off.
I see. Well, I took off 1 day yesterday to work at the poll at a polling place.
Oh, that's
And
good
I
public service.
I kept getting emails, you know, and finally my poll chairman came over and said, "What are you doing with your phone?" And I go, "Hello, I'm getting emails and people want answers." And she says, "Go take a break, take a walk, and take your phone with you, and then come back." Oh, okay, I can do that.
Did you ever come back?
Huh?
Did you ever come back?
Oh yeah, I came back. You know, and I mean, I had it on vibrate, right?
Right.
And it's sitting on the table and things vibrating, and I go, "What the heck?" And I thought everybody basically was going to have a really slow, lazy day, but it wasn't. It was pretty crazy for some people. Anyway, Adele,
Thank you,
for
Susie.
joining us today,
Oh, thank you.
and congratulations on the 38th anniversary party and having all the free swap meet and the food for
Not
Thanksgiving.
free swap meet, free swap.
Free swap. Okay.
And I want also to take the opportunity to thank all the families who have been partnering with us, our community partners, and our staff and board of directors and our funding agencies, and everyone who has had any involvement with My Family Support Services. We wouldn't have been able to get to the 38 years without everyone's support.
Right.
So thank you.
It takes all of them, everybody doing their part.
Yes.
Thank you, Adele.
Thank you, Susie.
We'll let you go.
Thank you.
That's
You
about-
made it for the half hour. You thought
So,
you'd have to run, but here you are.
Awesome.
Yeah, it's wonderful. Well, you've got so much to talk about. That's great.
Okay.
So best of luck to you, and through the holidays, if I don't see you,
Thank you.
have a few days to enjoy the holidays, even though they won't let you take it off.
You too. And thank you, everybody.
Thanks, everyone out there. That's Adele.
Claudio Lorena.
Yeah, that's it. Why? No, they didn't hear that. You're right. That's Adele Bageo Lorena. You got it. CEO of Maui Family Support Services. Have a great day. Thank you. And we turn the tables here, and we're going to talk with Harry.
Yeah, here I am.
Harry Johnson
Yeah.
from MEO's Transportation.
Yep, here I am.
And you've got about 38 years of transportation, don't you? Not
I'd
quite.
say 22, 23.
22, 23?
Yeah.
Started out with a beach buggy or something, didn't it?
It started out with a small vehicle or van, and it's grown to what we have now. It's close to 105 vehicles. So
Whoa.
Yeah.
What are the ones that we see out at your transportation lot there on the highway by Puaneni? We see some Maui buses in there.
see some Maui buses?
What's the connection?
that Maui bus logo is attached to vehicles that are used for the paratransit service.
And paratransit is?
Paratransit is a complimentary program for the Maui bus fixed route. Those buses travel along that same route at the radius of 3/4 of a mile along that
Ouch.
exact route.
Okay.
Yeah.
From the route, anywhere along the route.
Anywhere along that route is where the paratransit clients can actually travel to and from. They cannot travel out of that 3/4 mile route, and that's where the MEO Human Services side comes in.
Okay, so they need assistance because they can't get to the bus stop?
The way that the paratransit service is conducted, they're utilizing. You can do it that way, where they will transport you from your home to the fixed route stops, but we actually transport them from their home to anywhere within that 3/4 mile radius along area route. So let me give you an example.
Okay.
So the farthest in Wailuku on the fixed route is this on High Street. That's a state building stop.
Okay. Yeah.
3/4 of a mile
Beyond would take
beyond
them
that,
towards EL.
just at the fork between EL Valley and Wailuku Heights.
Oh, okay.
So that's the 3/4 mile stop. That's the farthest that it'll go.
Okay. Now, if someone is beyond that,
If-
you also have another service for
If it's
them.
beyond that, then they can use MEO's Human Services transportation, which basically they can use a shopping shuttle, which goes beyond the 3/4 mile radius.
Just
So
about
it's
anywhere.
kind of a package deal.
Yeah. Somebody asked me a question one day. They said they were trying to go from Pukalani to Kihei
They could.
for a doctor's appointment, and it was a little tough to get that arranged.
If they are qualified for both services, they would be able to perform that trip using two services.
Okay.
If they can use the paratransit if they're qualified for that, and then along with that, they can still get the Kihei on the paratransit as well. If they live outside of that 3/4 mile radius, we could bring them in with the Human Services, and we can transport them with the paratransit service. But if they're only qualified for the Human Services, then basically they would use a shopping shuttle. They could actually come down, do shopping in the central Wailuku and Kahului area. But if they wanted to go to Kihei, they could use either the Maui bus, or if we have a shuttle on that day going back to Kihei, then they
Okay.
could use that as well. It's a collaboration of the fixed routes, the Human Services, and the paratransit service.
Is it easier to go to Lahaina than it is to Kihei?
It probably is. Actually, if they once they can get into the hub, as an example, using the fixed route, they can pretty much get around to wherever they need to go for
Okay.
$2 to $4. If they use the Human Services transportation, which is a shopping shuttle, or the Aloha services, they can get down into the central area of Maui, and we could actually do transfers out to Kihei or Lahaina. But it all depends on what services are being offered to those areas on those days.
I see. So that's based on need.
Correct.
Okay, so I couldn't, if I were a participant in your programs, I couldn't call just on a random day and say, hey, like today's Wednesday, Friday, I want to go to Kihei to this meeting.
It would take some coordination,
Okay.
depending where they're coming from and where they're wanting to go, and if there's a return coming back on that particular day.
I got you.
Sometimes you might have people who will come in from the outlying areas, stay overnight, and then catch another bus on the next morning going in the other direction. So it all depends. Yeah, it all depends.
Yeah. Okay. So the way it basically is set up, it's to serve the outer areas, bringing them into the central core.
That would be the human services transportation. Correct.
And so
the shopping
that
shuttle.
yeah, that's for your shopping. That's for your doctor's appointments.
Uh-huh.
All those kinds of things. Which that was the whole purpose of starting it, wasn't
Correct. That's basically where MEO kind of led towards in the beginning days, probably 80s, 90s, somewhere in that area.
it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And still continuing.
Okay. On that note, we're going to take another short break. We'll be right back.
Aloha from Pacific Source, and thank you for your support over the years. Pacific Source has offered more of what builders and homeowners value most in building materials and cabinet design. We've done this by offering superior customer service and products, as well as by designing kitchens and baths that are intelligent and elegant while staying true to your vision and budget. Visit our showroom in Waikapu in Central Maui, where we display a variety of cabinets as well as top-name appliances like Sub-Zero, Wolf, Viking, KitchenAid, and more. We display countertops, tile and wood flooring, and several brands of windows and doors, including Fleetwood multi-slides and La Cantina folding doors. Come in and talk to our designers about making your dreams become a reality. From concept to completion, we really believe our attention to detail and superior service are what sets us apart. Let us show you what we mean. We are a Pacific Source at 515 East Oahe Way in the Consolidated Base Yard in Waikapu, just off Waiko Road. Call us at 986-0380. That's 986-0380, or look us up online at packsource.com.
Whoops. Hello. Pay attention, Susie. I'm sorry. This is Maui Nonprofit Notes, your weekly radio show where we talk story with our nonprofit agency directors and staff and learn a little more about what they're doing and maybe get some success stories as to how we've been able to help some people that without us would be stranded, in this case, without a ride to wherever they're going or wherever they're coming from. It's got to be a tremendous task. You're talking about 105 buses. I mean, I know they're not all on the road at the same time, and they're all different sizes for the different areas and
Correct.
needs. But drivers, is that a constant battle for you?
Oh, yeah, drivers is a constant battle trying to retain or obtain drivers. We're about, I believe we're at 10 full-time employees or drivers short on the human services side, and I believe we just we're at par with the paratransit service drivers. But
Wow.
it's tough. It's tough getting people to actually come and apply.
Are there just that many driving jobs out there?
There are.
I mean, I know like when school was starting, all the bus lines that do school service were looking for drivers, and that
Right.
had to hurt.
Right.
I mean, but you've got some drivers that have been with you for a long time.
I've got drivers that's been here since I was, in fact, even before that.
Oh,
So
really?
They've
Yeah.
been with us for a long time, and it identifies their dedication towards the service, towards their job, and also their community. So
Right.
we appreciate that one.
Well, and there's an extra piece, I think, if they're driving for MEO versus driving for Roberts, Maui Bus, whatever, and that is that care and concern, a compassion for the people that they're serving, because they know they're their lifeline.
It's relative to where they live, and because they live on Maui, the human effect takes place, and so you know these people from quote unquote birth, and so you definitely want to put your all in to try and get them to where they need to go. And so it's a position, or it's a driving position that requires a lot of feeling and heartwarm type of ideology to make it work for them and for them to stay in that job. It's really a community-based type of operation where your effect is based upon how you serve people that you're going to meet on a daily basis.
Right.
Yeah, outside of the job. So
and probably people you've met before under other circumstances. All of a sudden, you've got a new client you're picking up, and you go, "Oh my gosh, I know you."
Yeah, actually, besides relatives that I do have, there are others that as an example, I've met today. I was driving in Lahaina, and I hadn't seen these people for ages. And it was nice to see them. And they're saying, "Wow, you're still working?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm still here." Still here. Yeah.
Wow, you were out in Lahaina this morning, huh?
I was out in Lahaina this morning. We had a driver call in, not being able to come to work, so came to work at 5:30, took the bus out, did these runs, said hello to people that I've seen a while back, finished the run, came back in to Central, came to jumped to other meetings, and then came here.
Oh, wow. So you don't have any boring days, I don't think.
No, I don't. It's really exciting. I mean, it's you're always on the ball, ready to
The
get it done.
versatility. I mean, I would think that would intrigue me. I would hate to just be stuck to a desk doing paperwork and being the boss. I'd love to get out there and do this and that, and I do from time to time with where I am. But for you, I mean, like you say, somebody called in sick this morning. Well, you can't change today's schedule because somebody called in sick.
Yeah, you try to. One of the things we try to do is when we find that out, we'll try to see if we can break up the run. But if we know that, I mean, with 10 drivers short on the human services side, we know that's like almost impossible. So they'll call a supervisor in, and I've got 9 of them. So we're in, and I just answer the call. That's the thing with the cell phone. You answer the call, and you just get to the job and do what you got to do and continue on. Yeah.
Right. Now, roughly how many people will it take to cover that one driver's pickups for today?
So as an example, typically this one driver will be able to handle that entire thing by himself.
Oh, okay.
However, he resides in Lahaina.
Oh, with no bus.
Well, with a bus.
Oh, he has a
yeah,
bus.
he has a
Okay.
bus. So because I live in Central,
You have to take a bus out
I have
there.
to take a bus out there and then try and figure out where each of the clients live. Use our GPS system and our clientele system on a tablet, and then get there and say, "This is the place. Hi, my name's Harry. Come on over. Let's go," and pick people up. It's exciting.
Yeah. Well, now, what time of the day would he have started his?
He would have probably started at about 6:30, 7.
Okay.
But I've got an hour lead time that I've got to get there.
Right.
So, and actually my first pickup was at Mnpd Hall. So
Oh, gee. Okay, you might as well go all the way out.
yeah,
So, and then his day would end about.
his day would have ended, anywhere between 3, 4 o'clock.
Okay.
We have another driver that's also resides in Lahaina, so that
Okay.
balances things out.
Okay, so they can pick up the slack today.
Yeah,
Luckily.
yeah.
Interesting. So you do have some drivers who have buses at their house, so they don't have to come in and get a bus and go back out.
Correct, we do. Lahaina would be one, Hana would be another one, and then Molokai and Lanai,
Right.
they've got their own.
So they don't have.
They don't come over.
Okay.
Yeah, and I
Gotcha.
don't go over either on the bus.
I like that planning. You guys are on top of it. Okay, good. And now you do a lot of dialysis.
We do a lot of
transportation.
dialysis. Yes, we do.
And that's a tricky thing because they're all on strict schedules.
They're all on schedules. We coordinate that with the dialysis centers. There's 2 of them, and we try and get them to get them there to get their treatment. Once they finish their treatment, then it's a matter of trying to get them home within a certain period of time. And with 10 drivers short, you can imagine what big of a scramble that is.
Right.
So it's really tough.
What's your turnaround time for, like, if somebody is in your system and needs, say they've had a medical situation and they've got an appointment with a doctor for tomorrow? How late in the day can they call to get a reservation to do a tomorrow thing?
They can call up to 4 p.m.
Mm-hmm.
For a reservation, whether it's for paratransit and then also for the human services. Both services are next day service. You call today for the next day, and you can book it up to 2 weeks in advance.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so if you know that your appointment is 2 weeks away, you can call
Right.
today and say, hey, I've got this appointment.
Yeah.
We'll give you the reservation number, and we'll go from there.
Okay, so you make your doctor's appointment tomorrow. You get there, and he says, "I want to see you again in 10 days." You can turn around and make that appointment
Turn around,
reservation.
call back to our office. Say, hey, I found out what my appointment is, what day it is. Call again, and then we'll make that arrangement.
Right.
To see how that goes.
Is there? This is probably a tough question to answer, but is there ever a time where your whoever is reservationists, is that what they're called?
Yes.
Ever looking at the schedule and going, we just can't do this?
There, I'm glad that you asked that. So there is a negotiation process that we go through, and basically we try to say, okay, we have that capability to negotiate your pickup time, and for that particular day. Yes, there are times when, and let me give you an example. So usually the beginning of the month is normally the busier time.
After that Social Security check comes in, they
Could
got to
be
go
it.
shopping. They
Could
got to
be
do
it.
this. They got to do that.
Could be it. Yeah. So it's really heavy at the beginning of the month, and then it will kind of teeter off in the middle, and spike up again, especially during the holidays. So just before the holidays come up, there's a lot of trips. People
Right.
wanting to go different places. So yeah.
Right. Now, that's a good question. Now, if they take it to go shopping, like do their Christmas shopping, how many things or how much bulk stuff can they bring on the bus with them to go home?
You mean no Christmas trees?
Yeah.
Actually,
least.
Naturally, we limit that to 2 bags, or the bags that they can fit on their lap
Okay.
or under the seat in front of them.
Okay.
Yeah, in the past, we've had requests to bring home sofas and stuff like that.
Oh
and
my
so, yeah,
gosh.
it's been interesting.
We're not a moving company. We move people, not things.
Yeah. So there is a bag limitation, what they can carry on their person, on their lap, or under the seat.
Right. Getting back to the other question about the reservationist trying to rearrange a schedule. If somebody says, "Well, I've got this appointment with the doctor at 9:30," I mean, is it possible that? How much time do you say you need to be comfortable that they're going to be there by 9:30?
Let me give you from the perspective of the paratransit service.
Okay.
So in the paratransit service, they say, I want a 9 o'clock pickup time to get to my appointment, which is at 10. What we would do is say, okay, we're going to book your reservation based upon your drop-off time. So that would be 10 o'clock, because you need to be at the appointment by 10 o'clock. So the system will work from 10 o'clock backwards
Okay.
to where they would negotiate.
Now, this is all computerized.
It's all computerized.
Okay.
So you could, depending upon where you live, the system can say, okay, we'll pick you up at 9:30 or 9:15. If you live up country, obviously it's going to take a little longer, depending upon where that destination is. Excuse me. So that the system builds it from that point. Usually, if there's appointments that you have to be at, whether it's a medical appointment or you have to be at court and something like that, for the paratransit service, we will build it based upon that drop-off time, the time that you have to be there. We will do the same thing on the human services side, but there are limitations as far as when that service is available during the day. Yeah. Whereas the paratransit service is available basically from the time the Maui Bus fixed route starts to the time that it ends. Yeah, it's based upon that.
That's kind of a 6 in the morning?
It can be as early as 5:30, as
okay.
late as 11 o'clock at night.
Wow.
Yeah, it depends upon where you live and what routes are active during that time.
Okay.
Yeah.
So thinking about that 11:30, I mean, one could almost go to a performance at a theater or something.
You could. The Maui Bus has actually expanded their some of their services, so that's given where other users used to say, I can't do this because it doesn't allow me to finish the program. It's allowed that now. Now it's open up, so
Wow.
they had more flexibility on that.
Can you say no based on the fact that means there's only one person we have to pick up between the hours of 8 in the evening and 11:30?
On the paratransit services, I'd have to negotiate. We can negotiate up and down 1 hour.
Okay.
We can keep going back and forth.
I see. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
And what are the hours then for the human services?
On the human services for the shopping shuttle, it's typically between 7:30 in the morning to 12:30.
Okay.
So because
That's to
Because-
leave their home.
To leave their home, get here in the central area, Wailuku and Kahului, and then make their appointment or get to their appointment and then return back
Oh, so leaving Central by 12:30?
by 12:30, 12 o'clock, 12:30, depending
Okay.
upon where. If they're from
Okay.
Lahaina, they're going to be leaving probably about 12 versus 12:30 if they live right in Waikapu or in central area.
Okay.
So
But if and that's because of your drivers and the buses, you've got other contracts with like school children
there are other
and
contracts.
activities.
Youth transportation. There's daycare, Maui Adult Daycare. There's Halemakua, Kalima, Ark of Maui, a whole bunch of other agencies that we perform transportation services for. So
It's too
lot
bad
of
you don't have
coordination.
anything to do.
I know,
Gosh,
like
I-
being a radio show or something.
Yeah, right. I was sitting here listening to Adele and the different programs they have, and I think, wow, all the people they're serving. And then I talk to you, and I'm going, you're one facet, and transportation is just so all encompassing. I mean, how many seniors? Or well, let's not take seniors. Let's take everybody. How many people? How many riders do you average? Pick
Per
whatever.
day. So let me give you an example of the trips that we perform. So on the paratransit side, on a daily basis, it's anywhere from 180 to 250
Trips.
trips per day. On the human services side, it can be anywhere from 480 to 656 trips.
So you can hit the 800 mark with just those two
Oh, yeah.
programs.
No, yeah,
In a day.
definitely.
And when you say trips, that's person in a seat.
And every time they get on board,
Yeah, okay.
that's one, and then when
Okay, so a person coming downtown and going home is 2.
that would be two.
Okay, so 800 minutes could net out to 300 or 400 people.
Yeah, it's busy.
I got you. Wow.
It's busy.
And 10 drivers down is a lot.
So Susie, I've got an application here for you.
I see. I think I started there one time.
That's correct.
Somebody wanted me to. No, I said, "Oh, I could drive a bus. I think that would be fun." And I was told, "No, that's hard work. You don't want to do that." But it's all in attitude.
Yeah, it is.
If you like people and you want to help them, and I think most of you writers are probably very thankful
They are.
for the service.
To which we totally appreciate it.
Yeah, I bet. I
Yeah.
bet.
Yeah, we totally appreciate
Yeah, I
their
mean,
patience
there's
as well.
going to be bumps in the road. Pardon the expression. But for the most part, I mean, hey, there's so many places around this country where you don't have this service.
For the price,
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly.
yeah.
Harry, thank you for joining us today, and I
Thanks,
hope
Susie.
that some of the folks out there have been enlightened with how it works. And for more information, they can give you a call at
877-7651. That's our transportation department. And our Wailuku office, our administrative building, is actually 249-2990
and they can go online to
meoinc.org.
okay and check it out. Transportation. Thanks, Harry.
Thank you.
Okay, we want to thank everybody for joining us today. Maui Nonprofit Notes is sponsored as a community service by Pacific Source, the builder's choice. Give Paul and his staff a call at 986-0380 or stop by their showroom in the Waikapu Base Yard on East Oahe Way to see how they can help you with your building project. Today we talked with Maui Family Support Services and MEO Transportation and got an update on what their agencies are doing and what they are providing to the folks of Maui County. Again, we want to thank you all for joining us. We'll be here again next week, same time, same place, with 2 other member agency. I'm Susie Tiemann, Executive Director, Lokahi Pacific, and your host. Thanks for joining us today. Have a great week, everyone. Aloha.